Hey guys, welcome back to episode 7 of Cafecito Corner. We are drinking black coffee today
Why is that?
because you tried to turn me to the dark side and make me healthy.
Evil.
Yeah, you're evil for that.
Yep.
I always have some type of creamer in my iced coffee, but he's been drinking black iced coffee for the past 2 weeks, and I decided to get back on the train of black coffee, and let me tell you, it is not for the weak. It's gross. We got Starbucks and I came home and put a little splash of creamer because
Oh, you did?
yeah, it's just so bitter. I cannot. It's like, ugh. And
Coffee's coffee.
I can't do it. I can't do it, especially like if I know I'm going to Starbucks. I would like prepare myself to get like my cold brew with like cold foam on top, or maybe just like a sweet coffee. So I had a first sip of that and I was like, oof, absolutely not.
You ever want to wake up? Drink black coffee.
Yeah. And then you've been fasting, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get into that. Maybe next week you'll hear me talking about started fasting, but let's get...
Yeah, but I couldn't do bland fasting. I'm doing one where if you're trying to like feel full, I can have black coffee or tea and just a bunch of water.
You've never drank tea though, so you bought a whole pack of different kinds of hot teas, and you should
because I wanted to try them. Yeah, I need to see which tea I like from that.
I like to drink tea. I like to brew it hot and then put like ice in it, and it's like an iced tea. So maybe you'll like that one.
I don't like iced tea. I'm not an iced tea person. I think that's like I don't see how people enjoy drinking that.
You know, it's really funny that like when we were first dating, your family is always like drinking soda and stuff, and like we weren't really used to that. So like when I would go to your parents' house, like they always had like a Coke or a Sprite. And like my mom like never got us used to that, but like I feel like I started liking soda more when we started dating, which was a bad habit. But then
your parents like soda. Your mom's always like...
Yeah, she'll have a soda, but she'll have like literally 1/4 of a can. And
or do you guys get those mini cans?
We get a mini can, yeah. I know. Yeah. So
I mean, I don't think soda's the best thing for you, but we've always just had it.
Yeah, it's funny how you guys have always had
I've been
soda.
addicted since the age of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were that kid that was fed in your bottle Coke, probably.
Well, when I lived in Mexico, I mean, there's a corner store like at every corner.
And yeah.
So I'd ask my mom all the time for money, and like every day she'd give me like 20, 50 pesos, and I literally would destroy the store in half.
Are you serious?
I swear.
You'd get yourself a Coke for breakfast?
Easily would have a Coke and a bag of chips every day.
Oh my God.
And that's not including the days I would get like probably like what are those like Mexican like breads? Like gancitos, pingüinos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are pretty fire.
What are the ones that canelitas? Ooh. Every time I go to Rocky Point, I love to get myself a bag of canelitas or the cookies that have...
I think the best thing you'd have is get a gansito, freeze it. Best thing on the planet.
Oh, yeah. Recently, we just went to a paleta place, my aunt and I, and they had a gansito paleta. She got it, and it was...
Have you ever had
so
gansito
good.
Cake?
I don't think I've had gansito cake.
That one's pretty fire. I'm pretty sure Suspiros has it. Mm-hmm. But we'll probably get some for your birthday. So maybe I'll get that.
I didn't know what Suspiros was until Edward introduced me to them.
They're bomb.
We were passing by Rocky Point. I guess there's a Suspiros store, and you were freaking out. You were like, "We stop the car! Stop the car!" And
that was the thing when I lived at the border. Like we would always just pick up a cake because they're just bomb. Like I've never had a bad cake from them.
You've actually introduced me to a lot of like things because honestly, I was pretty whitewashed Mexican.
Yeah.
And
even Portos.
What?
Even Portos.
Oh yeah. I know.
That's
you introduced me to a lot of different things, so thank God for you.
Wait, are you talking about pastries or what?
No, I'm saying like a Mexican thing. Like, I didn't know what Suspiros was. I didn't know what like gancitos, like frozen, like things that. Like
the hacks.
The hacks that you learned in Mexico that I didn't know of. So
I've always actually thought, and I think I mentioned to your dad, and he's considered it too, is freezing a gansito, cutting it in half, and making a banana split out of it.
Ooh.
Because you know how we do the churro split, like with 2 churros on the
Yeah.
side, and then we do the banana split with the banana on the side. Now, if you did like a seasonal gansito split, I think that thing would kill it.
So at our restaurant located here in Arizona, we have ice cream, raspados, all the Mexican treats, and we recently put in the churro split, which is a cajeta churro split in half, and
Instead of the banana, it
instead
goes
of the
on
banana
each side.
split,
Yeah.
and it smacks so hard.
It sells pretty well. Like I would say,
Yeah.
competes with the banana split.
Yeah, and I told my parents one time, I was like, let's get rid of the banana split on the menu because it takes so long to make, and when you're busy, like...
But we do sell a lot of them.
But, yeah, it's like, if we got rid of that, people would probably break our windows because... I didn't know. It's a Mexican tradition almost, a banana split.
I didn't know the banana split was a Mexican tradition either, but...
People take it very serious.
Yeah. I don't think it's Mexican tradition. I just feel it's a way that Mexicans feel American. Like, it's a very American thing that, like, everybody wants to get when they... Like, In-N-Out. Like, to us, it's In-N-Out. But all my cousins that come from Mexico, they're like, dude, we've been hearing about this In-N-Out thing. I'm like, it's good. Is it the best burger? No. I mean, it's one of the... When you look at price, quality, and everything, it's one of the better burgers. But, like, to them, they come here with this idea that it's, like, the best thing on the
holy
planet.
grail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like... But, I mean, they do like it, but half the time...
It's nothing crazy. It's hyped up.
Right, like... Or McDonald's to them is not, like, what we vision here. Like, McDonald's to them is like, oh, let's stop at McDonald's. And it's like, dude, like, McDonald's is really bad for you. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
So bad. So good, though.
But you know, in Mexico, like, one of, like, the biggest brands is Carl's Jr.
Do they have them a lot over there?
I don't think that's the thing. I just feel like it's looked up on as in, like a higher class burger. I don't even know how to, like, McDonald's and Burger King are kind of like the... we go there for a cheap burger type thing.
Yeah.
But Carl's Jr. is like, how would I even put it? Maybe the Five Guys of burgers, like, which is crazy because, like, all the Carl's Jr.'s here around us are, like, dying.
Yeah, I mean...
They're, like, nothing.
You introduced me to Carl's Jr. because I thought, like, it was just, like, another fast food
Well, it was a nostalgia
place.
thing, too.
Yeah, like, a thing in Mexico that you would like to go to. And, like, when I was growing up, my mom really didn't take me to fast food places. And I'm glad because if not, it would have been bad. Because I would have loved it so much and I would have been so used to it. So you took me to Carl's Jr. I was like, but it's like, it's fast food. And you were like, no, it's like another level. Which you hyped it up and I think it was, I would say, a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's like
Maybe
a
the
6.
quality went down, like everything, these past few years. But I thought it would be better, but it wasn't.
It was all right.
Carl's Jr. wasn't anything crazy. So.
But, yeah, I mean, there was just a lot of things that are different than here, I guess.
Yeah, different traditions.
Like, you were not into chips that much. Now you are.
Oh my god. I was more into sweets. Now you got me into chips, the chamoy and all that.
Yeah. The thing is, in
God.
Mexico, like, I'm telling you, like, you know, I'll ask my mom for money. I'll go get, like, a soda, and then you choose a chip, like, kind of how we have it at the restaurant. Like, you know, we have a big stand. We go, you pick it out yourself, you bring it up to the lady, and you're like, can I have, like, a peso, 50 cents, 2 pesos of, like, chamoy, Valentina, or whatever you want. So they, like, pour it in there, and you always walk out with, like, chips and salsa.
Yeah, I didn't
Well,
know
like,
that.
not chips and spicy sauce, you know?
I didn't know that. And then I didn't know, like, a lot of the brands of chips, like, the names of it. So when I was on the register at our restaurant, they'd be like, oh, I want the crujitos, and I'd have to grab them, or the rancheritos, or the chilindrinas, and all these things. And I'm like, I was just pointing to every bag until they told me, yeah, that one, because I didn't know, like, half of these names, you know?
Like, a really big surprising thing for me was, like, you were not into, like, green tostitos. Like, the OG chip
Just
of
the
Mexico.
regular tostitos.
Yeah, the salsa verde
I
ones.
was like, why are you eating those? Like, they're so bland.
Even plain, they're bomb.
Now you got me craving them every single day. So
They just go with everything. Like, that is the most customizable chip
When
on the
we would
planet.
go on like road trips, you would get that, and I'd be like, those are so plain. Like I
They're just a
didn't.
safe bet.
Yeah, I had no idea how bomb they actually were.
They're so
The
good.
green Tocitos
Yeah,
bag. So now you're making me hungry, and we're supposed to
I
be
know.
fasting. So let's get into our peak and pits of the week. My peak was, I had actually a couple things. I was celebrating my birthday a little bit early because my parents went out of town, which will be one of my pits. I'll get more into detail of that. So before they left, we actually had a birthday dinner, and my parents got me my birthday gift, which was actually the cutest Kate Spade bag. What would you call it? Are those like
Like a
not
crossbody.
crossbody, like super trendy, like bags that are in right now? And I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. So she got me the cutest bag from Kate Spade. And then recently we just went to the mall, and I was like, you know what, it's my birthday month, like let me ask to see if I can get my birthday goodies right now, because I don't know if I'm gonna have time to go to the mall, during my birthday. So went to Sephora, got my birthday gift, which was so good. It was skincare that I've been wanting to try out. Then went to Kendra Scott. I always it's my tradition to get a new Kendra Scott necklace because they give you 50% off for your birthday gift. And what else did I get for my birthday gift? I think it was just
From the free stores or
yeah.
what?
I think it was just those. I had a gift card from Victoria's Secret Pink that I used that I've had for a year. So glad I used that. And then I think that was it. But I'm going to do some more research. Every time my birthday month comes, I always like to see who's giving goodies away. But unfortunately, like most places, it's like sweet things. Like Krispy Kreme, you can get like a dozen donuts.
The Dutch free drink, the Starbucks free drink.
I'm like, I want like a dinner. So I think
Who's just giving away dinners for...
No, I think the keg gives away a free steak.
Yeah, and then Grimaldi's does a pizza.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some research.
Yeah.
We're gonna be eating good this month. Yeah, so I got a lot of goodies. And it's just a good month when it's your birthday month because everybody gives away a couple things. I think,
And you get gifts.
And you get gifts, which I don't like getting gifts because I feel so bad. I don't know. It's kind of like I just feel bad getting gifts. So, but yeah, that was some of my peaks of this week. But my pits, the biggest pit that I had was probably my parents are leaving, or they already left for the longest trip that they will ever take. They are leaving for 3 weeks. They left for 3 weeks. And we actually dropped them off at the airport at 3 in the morning a couple days ago.
And I was there with some scissors cutting the umbilical cord.
Yeah. So I see my parents almost every day. And so it's going to be weird.
And you call your mom 9 times a day?
Yeah. Well, just questions and stuff, just chit chat. And it's gonna be so weird not seeing them for 3 weeks.
It's the first time you're woken up at 3 a.m. and what?
Ever. I think I've never woken up at 3 a.m. to go somewhere. But I thought it would be a lot harder. But I think when you are sleeping the night before and you have something to do, your body doesn't fully go into deep sleep. At least I was waking up every 15 minutes. So it wasn't too bad. I think you were even waking up too.
Yeah, I think I woke up at 2:30 and we had to leave to their house by 3. So
yeah, so it wasn't bad. But Edward was like, let's not go back to sleep. Let's just have a productive day. Let's just...
Well, because we got back home at almost 5.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know about that. I cannot go on 3 hours of sleep only. Maybe you can, but I need my full 8 hours, okay? So I went back to sleep right away. I go, don't talk to me. because you were like trying to like make yourself coffee. I'm like, no, don't talk to me. I'm going to sleep. And then I think you ended up going to sleep too
Well, I mean, I was bored, and I'm not gonna watch like a movie at
at
5 in
five
the
in the
morning
morning. Yeah.
on what, like Wednesday,
Yeah. A random day.
Thursday.
So we took them, and it's just crazy the fact that they are leaving for a whole month. I don't think they've ever left this long. And they're missing my birthday, which is the biggest pit ever because they've never missed my birthday. And it's
And you're
just
attached to the belly button.
yeah, I'm close to them. I'm their only daughter. Like, I think you just cannot relate because you're like a guy, so it's so different. Like, I'm the only girl and I'm the youngest. So, like, we have definitely a close relationship. And I'm so glad of that. Like, I hope that, like, when I have kids in the future, like, my daughters or my sons are going to be close to me. But I feel like sons are always, like, naturally distant. Like, once they're out of the house, like, at least my brothers, like, it's a different relationship. That's why I'm like, I hope I at least have one daughter because they're like your life best friend. I don't know. Edward doesn't understand.
No,
he doesn't get it. But
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love my parents and I visit them all the time, and
it's
I made my
different.
effort to see them. But like, if they left on for a month, I'd be like just happy that they get to see the world. Like, it ends there. Like, I'm not gonna be crying about it. Even yesterday, like something happened, and I was like, oh. And then you're like, oh, usually I'd be calling my mom, and then you cried.
I did not cry. I was faking it for you.
Okay.
I did not cry. It's just usually like when you are used to like always talking to somebody, it's like, I don't know, it's weird.
Are you about to cry right now?
No, you always say that.
Your eyes are glossy.
No, the eyelashes are bothering me. No. So yeah, that's gonna be weird.
There's no way that you're about to cry about this.
For not seeing them for 3 weeks, but I'm happy. You know what? Truly, honest to God, they are the most like they are so hardworking. And so I know that they needed this trip. Even though my mom was like, I don't want to go. And my dad could leave for 3 months and be the happiest man alive.
Yeah.
But my mom,
I think that's another thing that like probably my parents would struggle. Like I feel like my parents are more like your mom. Like
both that's the thing. Both of your parents are like my mom.
yes. Like both my mom and dad would like they would 100% give up going to Europe to like enjoy Hawaii with us, like something closer. Like my dad's the type to like he would never just push for a trip with my mom and him, like
Which I find
because he thinks my mom and
crazy.
would also like want us there, and I think she would like.
Yeah.
I genuinely think they enjoy our company. Like they would just value us being out there more than.
I find that kind of crazy because I think it's good for them to like sometimes take a trip alone, like. You know, I think it's healthy.
It is, but like, I feel like we are their world in a way. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
yeah,
like they would 100% have us there because like we obviously always go on trips with them and stuff, and like there's times they do their thing, we do our thing. Like it's like they get enough of that already. That I think they'd rather. I feel like my parents feel guilty seeing places that we're not seeing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
insane because my dad.
Because I feel like that's what my parents work for. Like. To give us everything, like I don't know, but that's your mom's crazy. The exact same way, yes. And your dad, which I don't think his like mentality is wrong, is like he works really hard and he's like I'm gonna go. See.
My dad's like peace. I am so good not seeing you for 3 weeks, and my mom's like completely the opposite.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty hard for your mom.
Yeah, so she was like, she hadn't even left, and she was already like, I just want these 3 weeks to pass by already.
But not even that. Like, she left you guys a fridge full at their house when, like...
Let's talk about
Are you gonna go?
So, I have to go, and that's probably one of my pits, is having to go and check the mail, and, like, I already have like so many things I have to do. Like now I need to add that to like my schedule, my routine. I have to go check the mail and like send cards and do stuff like that my mom usually does. And I don't have time, so I need to like go early in the mornings. But my mom was like, I'm going to leave you guys. Mind you, they don't cook at home. Like, they're always on the go. She's just like, I'm going to leave you guys some food. So if you guys come, you guys can have something to eat. And I was like, maybe some grapes, maybe some snacks, you know, like something like casual, some like pistachios. This woman left chorizo, like carne de cabeza, like all of these meats that I don't even eat. Mind you, I don't even cook that. Like eggs from like Costco, so it's like the 24 pack. And so I don't know, I feel like now I feel like I have to go and eat some of that food now. I think she did this on purpose so that way we could go and check on the house more.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Or
just getting it. It's just clicking.
or for you and your brothers to bond, be like, let's go cook over there.
Yeah, which neither of us like none of us three ever cook, so
No.
it's not gonna happen.
Well, Gabriel does.
Yeah, my brother Gabriel does, but
But I don't know if you'd cook for you and Fern only.
No. So that was definitely my pit of the week. It's just my parents leaving for 3 weeks, but I think it's gonna go by fast because we got my birthday month and we got a couple things for the restaurant that we've been doing. But yeah, and then probably 4th of July recently just passed. So we had the worst couple of nights sleeping because Rosie has been freaking out about the fireworks.
She's really afraid of him, yeah.
I mean, you would think that like there was gunshots inside the house of the way she acts when like there was a firework. So I was freaking out because the day before 4th of July there was people doing like little fireworks like sparklers and she was freaking out. And I was like, Edward, I don't think we can do anything for 4th of July because it's just going to be bad. And yep, that's exactly what happened. I grabbed her, like I lifted her because I was going to go somewhere. She completely peed all over me and I thought it was my water bottle that spilled on me. No, I go to lift my shirt to smell it and it was her pee. And I was like, dude, how do you pee this much? Because as soon as I lifted her up, a firework like lit up and I just felt so bad. So that night she slept on our bed, and mind you, they never sleep in our bed because Edward would not allow that. I wish they could sleep on our bed because I would just
disgusting.
Cuddle with them all night.
No, that's where I draw the line. But even the room, sometimes I'm like,
yeah, because all you hear is like Snoopy's licking his paws for like 30 minutes straight.
Or Rosie like goes up on the bed and scares me. Like,
yeah,
she'll just go on the side.
She'll put her paws up and just like start sniffing.
Or staring. She's like,
yeah,
and she has human eyes.
Her eyes are like human, so yeah. Human like. But yeah, so she slept with us that night, and I think you were not happy about it.
I mean that night was fine. Like she was obviously freaking out, but
yeah,
like that's not a thing that's gonna become a thing. Like I can't. I find that so nasty.
When people sleep with their dogs.
Yeah, they're out in the grass all day. They're out in the dirt, like. And now you're gonna
put them in your bed?
Yeah, like no.
At least if you put them on a blanket, maybe. That way they stay on the blanket. I could understand that, but...
No.
Yeah, so...
Because what if I accidentally grab that blanket?
Oh my god. I cannot with you. And that was definitely something annoying that we had to deal with was Rosie freaking out. And then she bit my Vans out of probably anxiety. My brand new Vans. So this is definitely the 5th pair I think she's been.
Yeah.
So we went to go get new Vans the day after because I needed those.
I think that was probably your last pair. She ate all of them.
Yeah, literally all my Vans, and it's only Vans too. I think she just likes them. So, what was your peak and pits of the week?
What do I start with? Bad or good? I like to start with the bad.
Yeah, do that.
Pit. Well. With your parents leaving, they got a couple things that like construction sites and stuff they need to look at. So I kind of took over a little bit of that responsibility, and that's just been bad. The heat's so bad.
Because the construction sites that you're going to like they don't have AC.
No, and they got something delivered one day, at like 3 p.m. And I took one of my cousins because I was like, I'm not moving this alone.
Yeah.
One of my cousins, and he almost fainted.
I think he
Yeah,
was
like
dehydrated.
it was so hot. And like they just dropped it off in like the middle of the asphalt. Like, and we had to like wheel it in. And oh man, that was so bad. So it's probably been that, like all the trips. Besides that, I started the fast way earlier, and that's just been so hard to get adjusted to.
Yeah.
Like it drains me by like 6 p.m.
I think it's just hard because you're in the sun all day already. You're dehydrating yourself. Your work is like manual labor. It's like heavy
Yeah.
stuff. And you started the fast, which is depleting your body. So I think it was just like last week knocked you out.
Yeah, but I think that I could see why fasting works. Like I'm like hungry all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool. It's also kind of cool to test like your mental ability of like, nah, I'm not gonna eat. Nah, I'm not gonna eat. Because like, even when we go to a restaurant, like you could just be like, nah, I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah.
And that's really hard because
It's
like,
so hard.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool to test your limits, but
I think the worst is that when you're hungry and we're working at our restaurant, oh my God.
I think yeah, I that's why I try to kind of stay away from it this week because like when something's like cooking, the smell
the
just
sizzling,
drives me nuts.
and then you gotta hand it out to the people. You gotta see them enjoying it.
Yeah, and then you're like shaking. Yeah, you're like they think you're in love with them, but it's just the
Yeah.
food leaving.
Oh, can I have a fry?
Like you can have one.
Yeah. So I think it's been a mix of all that.
But yeah, I think it's just been like a hard week to like just like stay
Consistent with
productive because of I don't know the heat and everything. But my peak was I since I was little I've been a Indiana Jones fan and that's the movie we went and saw. So the fifth one came out. We went and saw it. It was sick. I don't think you liked it, but
it was good. I didn't fall asleep, so that's a good sign that I liked it. I thought I was going to.
I just love those movies because they always have action. But I didn't think you would like that action because like it's not like modern action.
No, I actually really liked it, but I thought I was gonna have to see the other Indiana Jones to understand what was going on. But
There was references for sure.
yeah, I don't think it was like I was confused the whole time. Like it was fine. It was pretty good. I didn't fall asleep,
Yeah.
so I liked it.
No, that movie is sick. I always like their insect references, like when they all have insects all over them. The action scenes are insane. Like there's this train scene that's absolutely insane. And then like the little motorcycle chase scene in the middle, that was sick.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I like the Indiana Jones movies because like yeah, it's CGI, but like it also reminds you of like, you know, in a non-modern world, what would happen?
Yeah.
Like you know. It keeps the action realistic in a way.
If you can't see in the plant, there's actually an Indiana Jones figure.
Oh yeah, he's in here.
Which I think is pretty cool because he has a rope and everything.
A lasso.
So I like that. Oh, it's a lasso?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a rope.
But so that was one. Then 4th of July. 4th of July was good. Because like we closed the restaurant early. We got to go home and rest.
It was so nice.
We swam. Like the pool was super nice. At my parents' house. Some cousins came.
You got catering for you and your family. Your
Yeah,
favorite meal.
There's this guy that works for us. I think we talked about it in the past.
Yeah, we've
right?
already said it.
Yeah,
So you ordered
the guy
again.
that makes like the seafood. I ordered some food from him again because like my parents love it, and I took it over there. We ate it. Then my parents got pizza, and like we just saw the fireworks.
I think that's such a good hack of like when you have people over and you don't want to stress out about it is just cater food. Like
Yeah, but I mean it gets expensive to cater. That's why his is not too bad because I'm like, oh, actually decently priced.
and then he also with the food gave you like a little bit of dessert.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a dulce de leche cake.
I don't know. I didn't try it.
Oh.
Because I knew you would like it, but
I had a bite of it and it was really good. I think it was like dulce de leche. It was so good.
yeah, and then I think the last episode we talked about it. Like my friend that got into the accident, I booked a flight. I'm gonna go out to see him, so that's a peak. Just because like I'm gonna get to go see him, and I get to see he's in Charleston, so I I've never been over there. Yeah, so it'll be cool to go see them out there. And besides that,
I wonder how the weather's gonna be over there.
I was actually just thinking that because I want to Google that to see like what I need to take. But I think that's pretty much all we had in the week. I'm surprised you didn't talk about your Portos like delivery.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. We should talk a little bit about that before we get into our topic of today. So your cousins actually went to Cali for a couple days, and they sent.
No, they left for a day.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They drove like midnight, got there 6 a.m. They slept for a little bit, went to the beach.
Wow.
Went to Portos and then drove back that night again at midnight.
They texted you and they were like, "Hey, we might be stopping at Portos. Let us know if you want anything." And then you were like, "Do you want anything?" I was like, "Obviously, I'll send you the list."
Yeah. But your list was not specific.
Yeah, so I ordered like a couple just like individual pastries, and then in the menu I was looking, they had like an individual like slice of cake like this small, like literally not even for one person. So I was like, "Oh, like a little slice of chocolate cake. This is perfect." The morning of when they brought everything, I was like, they brought it and it was in the kitchen, and I see a big box, and I was like, "Oh, like maybe Edward got a cake maybe for my birthday." And I texted him, I was like, "Why did you order a cake for 20 people? Like, is this a surprise?" Because I mean, that's such a nice surprise of you. And he was like, "No, you literally ordered it." And I looked at my text that I sent you, and I was like,
forwarded you the text.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh my God, it was supposed to be a slice of cake."
But you wrote cake.
Yeah.
So that I would have assumed it's a full cake too.
Yeah. And I was like, "Edward, what are we going to do with the whole cake?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, we don't have a choice. We got to start eating it."
Yeah, so we took it to your parents.
Yeah, we took it to my parents, and then my family like messed up half of it, so that was good. And then we gave like a big slice to our friends, and then I think you should give some to your family because it's literally so big, but it was amazing, like a dream. It was a chocolate mousse cake.
Yeah, we've been trying to go out to Cali.
Yeah,
and I know half of it is just because you want to go to Portos again, but
I know I want to go to that.
Hopefully we can make a Disney happen, but
yeah,
but we're pretty strict on our decisions. But hopefully we can make it out there in July, because I know all of June we said we were going to stay in, and we try to be pretty strict on if we say we're going to stay for a month or something, we do it.
Yeah, we've been pretty good at that.
Yeah. I would say the longest streak we had was probably when we were getting the house. We did probably like 8 months of not going out.
Yeah. I was struggling.
Yeah.
I was going crazy.
Yeah.
But
we got it done.
But we got it done, and I honestly feel like when you have something in mind that you want to do, like either save for a house or either save for a car, anything you want to do and save for, like you have to have like kind of goals and discipline, because it gets tough when you either if like you are doing it alone, or if you're with a partner and you guys say, "All right, like let's stay home for the next 6 months and you save, not do anything, or like not go out to eat." Like you guys have to get on a plan together, I feel like, because it can get tough.
Yeah.
I was definitely going crazy because I feel like I saw my friends going out and, like going on trips and doing fun things and buying things. And we were just like, okay, we know what we want. Like we know our end goal, and we know that like if we save for the next 6 months, if we save hard, we're able to do this or we're able to do that. And I feel like for us, like we were really strict about it. Like when we wanted to get a house.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I just feel like we just had twice the amount of pressure, because we already had the loan from the restaurant. Then we had a loan for a house, and we were both living with our parents. We had no furniture. We had nothing.
Yeah.
So like it's one thing to buy a house, and then on top of it you got furniture. On top of that you got to buy, like our house didn't even come with fans. Like I remember that whole like first 2-3 months, every time I went to Home Depot it was like $300. was a fan here, a light bulb there, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like tools. I didn't have tools, and I'm not gonna go steal my dad's all the time. Like we're gonna need them, and
Yeah.
I remember that was so bad.
The first 3 months when we bought a house, it was like such a reality check of
Yeah,
like,
I remember like because we were working a lot still,
yeah,
and like straight after work, I'd take my cousins, we'd put up fans and like pass out at 1 a.m, wake up in the carpet and like
yeah.
go at it again.
Oh my God.
It was definitely a wild experience, but we got it done. I mean, and I feel like that's like a misconception of like everyone always tells you like buying a house is the way to go. Yeah, it is, but it's more than just, oh, I bought the house and like let's just get a bed. Like no, like you're responsible for everything. Like at least when you're renting, I guess, like, hey, your water heater's not working. Hey, this is not working. Like, you know. And we did get lucky. We bought a new home because like we kind of did have warranty on things, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine if like we had a used home and like we did all that sacrifice and then all of a sudden we gotta buy whatever repairs come into. So that's why like even when you buy used, you have to have a little bit of safety cash for repairs, for, you know, things you're gonna want to do to it. It's not. You really do have to have discipline for. Well,
Yeah.
pretty much it's for everything. Like, you know, like even with this, like we've talked about it. Like you're like, oh, let's start a podcast, and it's like, okay, well, you can't just. You need a couple things. So like it was like $200 here, $300 here, $400 here. Like it adds up real quick.
It adds up so quick, and I feel like when you are like either buying a house or starting a business, like you could say like if you want to take social media serious or like podcasting serious, or you want to, you know, anything you want to do, I think being disciplined is like the number one thing, and kind of committing to your goals, like saying for us, like we want to make sure that we stay consistent, you know, with the podcast, and we want to make sure that we are always putting like, I don't know, I feel like effort into it. And I think that like overall when you are saving for something, that is huge, and like kind of writing down your goals too.
And you have to learn how to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, and I would seriously say like we're both not like crazy spenders.
That helps.
I mean, like, yeah, maybe when our birthday comes around, we'll buy one nice thing or something. I don't know. But, like, I mean, even, like, we'll tone down the going to restaurants. We'll tone down the... So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to learn how to sacrifice. But it's, like, temporary. Like,
yeah,
I feel like after that, we were, like, fine.
Yeah, like, I think the first couple months we were buying a house, you were like... We can't go out to eat as much. We can't.
Well, the thing is, like, you also don't know what to expect because it's, like,
Exactly.
nerve-wracking. Because, like, I remember we go visit the house and I'm, like, looking up. There's no fans. Then I'm like, well, we bought the blind package, but that window doesn't have blinds because it's not in the living area. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, here we are in the kitchen cabinets. There's no handles. There's no this. There's no water softener. There's no water
filters.
We like the RO system.
Yeah.
So you kind of start doing all that, and I'm like, no washer and dryer. I've seen those going for $700 each.
Fridge.
There's no fridge. Even though we got the appliance package, and it's like, okay, and then here we are, a couple $1,000s later. Money you thought was for furniture ended up going to that.
Exactly.
And then you buy furniture, and then now you want wall decor. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think that was for us. Like, I wanted to do everything all at once, like as soon as we got the house, and then you were kind of like, let's slow it down a little bit.
I mean, and it's just because you have to, because like, it's very easy to, because like, and I was doing it at the time too, because like, my parents, I mean, we. Like, you had everything, I had everything.
Exactly.
And it's like there was so many mistakes we did that you learn from that, you know, like, I made a game room. And I'm like, well, at my parents, I had the PS5, I had this. And like, it's like, oh, I need to upgrade it. Because, like, you know, it's like, you don't need, I don't need to, like, have all my shelves up. I don't need to have, like, a couch in there yet. Like, if that's the goal, I'll get it within time, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, we did that mistake with even like going to Costco. Like, why did we need to go to Costco for groceries when it was just us two? Like, you know, there's just things that you learn from. But yeah, like, we did both kind of have to slow down because just expensive kept coming out. Our yard wasn't done, and that's something that, like, out of nowhere, like, where like the dogs are gonna get the house really dirty. We thought we could wait on it,
No, we
and
did
then
that
you
right
got
away.
all white furniture, and I'm like, like the furniture's gonna get destroyed. So that was like $6,000, or maybe it was less, but I think it was around there.
Yeah.
And then we have a yard, and then like a couple months later, we're like, let's get some stuff to use it. Like, let's get a grill,
Yeah.
and it took us a bit. I mean, we did time all that pretty well, but I'm just saying, like, we were just getting hit left and right.
Getting hit left and right with so many expenses, and I feel like that same saying goes with like the restaurant, like, and owning your own business. Like, you get hit with so many expenses, and I think if you're not disciplined enough, and if you are not like, you sit down with your partner and have the same goals, like, it gets tough, because honestly I feel like things come up so fast, and emergencies, like, I mean, like you said, we didn't have things that we had at our parents, like even a toaster, even like simple things that I'm like, oh my God, I did not even think we would need that.
Yeah.
But you do, you know?
A coffee maker. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, how are we gonna make coffee? Like, there's just so I remember bunch of random things would come up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I know our parents gifted us a bunch of stuff, but
They helped a ton. But I think what also helped is like a lot of people would always ask us, or like friends and family, like how like were we able to buy a house and like get furniture right away. And I think what helped is that like we sat down together and we were kind of like, okay, in 6 months or in a year, like, let's try to do this, and like let's try to reach for this. And we sat down
and we both took it serious.
and we both,
Because like
took
it would have
serious.
been one thing if like you started saving and then I'm still like buying Legos, like, you know, and it's like you yeah, we both had to take that pretty serious.
Spending money, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is huge, is like we both like kind of, I would say, manifested like us getting a house. And it obviously was, we were both like serious about it. So I think that helped a ton. And now it's like, okay, we reached that goal, and it's kind of like, okay, we have to keep reaching our next goals, because if not, I feel like we would just stay content. It's like, that's our first home and it's amazing, but like, let's plan our next home for the next 5 to 10 years, and just always just knowing that like you have to be working hard for your next goal.
I mean, really, when you think about it, it's crazy, like the amount of things we gave up, like for almost a year, because like, I mean, I was fresh out of college. I literally got to save for 1 year out of my parents, and like same thing with you. Like, I mean, you were doing real estate, working part time, and like real estate wasn't like fully ramped up for you. Like, you were still like learning and stuff like that.
It was definitely,
So when you really think about it, I mean, we got to save for like a year, so it's doable. But
it's definitely a struggle, but I think what helped us like save for the restaurant and save for the house was like, I think really educating ourselves and keeping ourselves motivated. Like, for me, I would always be listening to podcasts, because I'm not a big book reader. You like to read books, but like for me, it's just like always listening to podcasts about, self-motivation and stuff like that. And I think that helped me. And also like being around like-minded people. Like, I feel like we would always go to my parents for advice, and I think that helped us too, for sure. Like, kind of stay focused and determined, and kind of realize that like your hustle season, at least for us, like it's only like short term. Like, at least I feel like me and you, like, we know that we're not gonna like always be working at 100 for the rest of our lives. Like, we know that like in our 20s we are going to like work super hard, so that way we can relax and enjoy our 30s and enjoy our 40s.
Yeah, and I feel like at least like, just family and like friends and stuff, like they see that backwards. It's like, enjoy your 20s, work later. But I'm like, dude, like I don't know if I'd have the energy to do all this. Like,
yeah,
like waking up that early, like staying up that late, like working that many hours. Like, I don't want to be doing that and dealing with kids and dealing with like bills and no.
yeah,
I'd rather do that now and like semi-relax when I'm 30.
Set ourselves up for like when the time comes of like when we have kids to not be so worried about work. And I think I'm so glad that we are both on that same page, because it would definitely be a lot harder to work on our goals, but we have like not be so aligned with like the journey and how to get there. Because if you were like, no, I want to buy a house like in 5 more years, or, you know, I think it would just set us back a lot, not being on the same page. And I think that's huge. Because now we were like getting to our goals a lot faster together. We're on the same page of like, okay, in the end of our 20s, we're going to be more relaxed. So we know that like this time we're not going to be going out and taking the crazy vacations. Like we both know that these next few years, it's like hustle time for us. And yeah, in our early 30s, we'll be able to enjoy it a little bit more. So I think that helps out a ton. I think it would be definitely like super fun to tap into like future topics about that, like motivation and saving money and all that in the future. So but yeah, that is a wrap for our 7th episode of Cafecito Corner. Thank
Almost
you guys.
2 months. Dang.
Yeah, that's gone
Next
by
week
so
will
fast.
be 2 months.
Well, thank you guys. If you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate it and it means the world to us. We also have our TikTok account at Cafecito Corner. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Have an amazing week.